Hello, everyone. Somehow I got kicked to a different meeting, but fortunately all you guys were in the correct meeting, so I was able to jump over here. If any of you were here yesterday, my name is Ian Downey. Who hosted the webinar series yesterday. So thank you all for hopping in here today. Doing a couple things real quick. So I want to thank everyone for coming. I'm going to share my screen and get the presentation going here because we do use Zoom and there's a little bit of a time crunch with Zoom. So I want to make sure I get through all the information for you so that way if we have questions on the end, you guys will be able to ask them. So I'm just going to quickly here share my screen with the presentation. A second here. And then get that up and running and we can get going here. So here we go, share this. All right, so again, this is Caching in Your Garage, Utilizing the Internet to Make Money, presented by RacingJunkcom. Real quickly, just a quick recap of what we went over yesterday for anyone who didn't catch it. We are taping all these, so you'll actually be able to go back and watch the first session if you did miss it. But yesterday we talked about how to identify your item, how to prep your item by inspecting and cleaning it, and then how to start preparing your ad by taking pictures, doing research, and eventually typing up your description. This series that we're going to be doing today, which is series 2, we are going to be talking about posting and managing your ad on RacingJunk.com. Yesterday, we really talked about how to identify your stuff. Really, it could apply to any website. Obviously, I know RacingJunk.com. So actually, there's some more people waiting here. So I'm going to let them in, and I'm actually going to quickly make a setting change here so that way I don't have to keep letting people in. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second here so I can do that. I'm going to take off the waiting room so that way people can just join automatically here. Linda is trying to join. Okay, so back to sharing my screen. Get right back to the presentation here. All right, so today we're going to talk about RacingJunk.com, how to post and manage your ad on RacingJunk.com. So obviously, I work for RacingJunk.com. So why RacingJunk.com? Why are we the place that you should be posting your stuff on? First and foremost, 20 years in the industry. For an internet company, I think that's pretty impressive. There's a lot of internet companies that come and go. 20 years, we've been here since 1999, providing you with classifieds, and we really are the leader in the industry in that regards. And over those years, we've obviously learned a lot, and we bring that experience every single day when we go to work. Our audience. If you're looking to sell something performance related, you want to put on RacingJunk.com. Not only is it encompass the entire industry, but we got 1.5 million visitors every single month. Right now, we are actually up 8% year over year, which means even more people are coming to the site, which should give you reason to want to put stuff up on our site in front of those eyes and hopefully make some cash. Users. Obviously, we're still growing, but right now we're at 900,000 plus users, getting closer and closer to that 1 million mark. Again, these are loyal users who love using us. They prefer to use us over other websites. And again, it kind of goes back to the audience. These are the people who you're going to want to put your product in front of. Unique categories. So we have 43 unique categories. Again, this goes back to RacingJunk.com. When it comes to performance-related items, we have a category that works for you. As long as it's performance-related, you're going to be able to put it up on our website. We do very well with search engine optimization. Things like drag racing, road racing cars, stock cars, and a couple other of our categories are actually #1 when you do a Google search. If you're to go to Google right now and search drag racing cars, you're going to see Racing Junk come up first. So we have some very good, highly ranked SEO. And then last, obviously being from the customer service department, I do think this is very important, is that we do have a live person-to-person USA-based customer service team. Basically, when you call into us, We're going to talk to you person to person. You're not going to get a robot or a machine or anything like that. So those are just some of the reasons why RacingJunk.com. But then, we're going to spend the rest of this kind of series really going through how to manage your ad and everything on RacingJunk. So what are the actual steps to putting your stuff up on RacingJunk.com? And there are 3 of them. The first is obviously creating an account. The second is posting your ad. And the third is managing your ad. And we're going to go through each one of these today. Okay, so the first thing we're going to go over quickly is creating an account. It's not hard to do. It's a very simple, very easy process, but there is 2 steps to doing it. The first is choosing your membership level. We have 4 types of memberships, and the second is filling out all your contact information. The nice part about RacingJunk.com is we are a free to post website. In other words, we're not a pay per ad. We don't have a pay per ad model. You can upload and post as many ads as you want to RacingJunk.com. It's not going to cost you more money at all. You do have to be a member, but when we get into the memberships stuff here, you'll see that we do offer free basic memberships also. So not only is it free to post on the site, we also have free basic memberships. Then we have other memberships that have a lot more perks that we'll get into right now. As you can see that there's 4 different models. The one thing I want to point out here is the businesses. On RacingJunk.com, if you are a business, if you do as a hobby and you do it for making money like a business, your brick and mortar businesses, stuff like that, you have to be a business. But if you are a private seller who is just looking to clean out his garage and get some money, those other 3 options are available to you. Again, the basic membership is free. It doesn't cost you anything. It allows you 2 ads, allows you to put a picture up. It's very limited, obviously, but it is a free membership. And then we have 2 club memberships. One is called the Fan Club and one is called the Pro Club. The Fan Club we just recently launched, and we're actually launching another thing for possibly tomorrow as long as everything checks out correctly. But the Fan Club is best value for browsing if you want to browse a website. But if you're really looking to sell, the Pro Club is the best for you. Not only does it have a ton of perks, but it also is really, really cheap. Matter of fact, it's only $49.95 if you were to do it for the entire year. And what that does is it allows you up to 5 ads online on the site at any given time, which means doesn't mean you just only can sell 5 things. It means if you have 5 things up and you sell one of them, you can put something right back up in its place. So who knows over the course of the year how many things you could potentially sell. There's other things that go good with that go well with that is you get free photo galleries, you get free video uploads. Even though you pay us $49.95, we actually give you $65 to do back on the website to upgrade ads. So it's really great value. But again, these are all the options we have when you actually choose your membership. So when you go to create your account, this is the first thing you're going to see. You pick which one works best for you. The Pro Club also has the option to pay monthly. The Fan Club is a monthly membership. And again, that basic is free. Once you choose your membership level, next page, we're just going to give us some contact information. The 3 things I wanted to point out here is your username, your email address, and phone. The reason for that is the username and email address has to be unique. You can't use the same one for multiple accounts. So, and the username itself also is used as your display name. And if, and the reason why I want to point that out is you have to remember when you're choosing your username and you actually put an ad up, make sure it's not something that you're going to want on your ad because we are going to use that for your display name. The email address, again, you want to use the email address that you want to be contacted by when someone sends you, an inquiry on whatever your ad is. So don't give us some email address just to create an account. Give us the email address that you want to be contacted by. And then obviously the phone number is the same thing. Whatever phone you want someone to contact you with, that's the phone number you want to put there. So again, that was quick and easy. When you're creating your account, you're just choosing your membership level, give us some information, and you're ready to go. And then you can get into the posting process. And again, everything that we did yesterday, the identifying and the inspecting and the cleaning and writing your description and doing your research is going to set you up to have a really nice, easy experience when it comes to the posting process on RacingJunk.com. There's 6 easy steps to creating an ad on our site. I mean, there's only 3 that we're going to mainly talk about today because the other ones are just kind of, like reviewing your ad and stuff like that. There's not much you really have to do, but we're going to go through each of those right now. So that way, when you actually go to post your ad, you're better prepared. The first of which, step 1 is information, everything about your ad. The second is account level. That's a step that you skip if you've already created your account and you're logged in. We do offer the ability of kind of ease of use, where if you do come to our website and you haven't created an account and you do start posting the ad, we do let you create an account during the posting process. The third step that we'll talk about are upgrades you can do to your ad. The fourth step that we'll talk about is photo and video. The fifth step is reviewing everything, and then boom, your ad is posted. Just gonna quickly check here, make sure everyone's getting in fine. It does seem like everyone's getting in fine. Just want to make sure there's no one left in limbo here. So let's get into the posting process real quick. Information. This is the very first step that you'll do. There's a lot of stuff on there that you can fill out. There's three main things I want you to think about when you're on this page. The first of which is the category. It's the first thing you're going to be asked on this page. Wherever you want your ad to be found on the site is where you want to put it. Now, it does have to be relevant to your item. You can't, put a drag racing car in the trailers category, obviously. But you want to make sure that whatever category that you think your ad applies to, that's where you want to put it, okay? It is something you can change later on if you think there's multiple categories it might work into, and we'll kind of get into that a little bit deeper when we talk about maximizing your visibility on the website. The next step is your ad title. Choose a proper ad title. What I mean by that, some of our categories choose your ad title for you, based off of your year, make, and model. But when some of our categories, like some of our racing categories, does allow you to put a unique title. The problem is that some people, as you can see there, might put sweet ride. Well, no one's coming to RacingJunkcom just typing in sweet ride. They're looking for a specific type of vehicle or a specific item. So what you want to do is choose a proper ad title that you think people will actually search for. So if you're going to, again, this all comes back to, if you're going to the website, you want to search for your item, that's what you want to put for your ad title. The last thing is your main photo. Sorry. I think someone just got stuck out. So I'm going to let them get back in here. Hopefully that lets them back in. Sorry about that, guys. Go back there because I actually skipped that. The last thing I want to talk about today is the main photo. First impression is everything. Our website, a lot of people do browse our classifieds looking for stuff. So when they're scrolling through everyone's ads, it's going to say, they're going to see a couple things. They're going to see a short little bit of your description, your price, and your main thumbnail photo. That's what's going to catch their eye. So whatever photo you choose for your main photo on this step is the one that you want to use. The one that you think is going to catch people's eyes, that's what you want to put as that main photo. The rest of the stuff is pretty self-explanatory. You can change how long your ad can stay up. The max amount you can do is 16 weeks for free, but some people might change it to a less amount of time. And there's a lot of other information that differs from category to category. Again, account level is our second step. If we've already created our account like we already did, this will just be skipped over and you go right to step 3. But let's say someone has come to the website for the first time, they hit post ad. We do allow them to create it during the process. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because we already talked about it, but you can choose your account level on step 2. So step 3, upgrades. Very important to maximizing your pool of candidates potentially. But basically our upgrades are grouped into 5 categories: ad placement, ad visibility, media, reposting, and runtime. Ad placement is pretty self-explanatory. It's different placements on our website. We offer upgrades that allow you to put it on our homepage. We offer upgrades that allow you to stay right on the first page, right at the top of our category. We offer upgrades that put your ad in our newsletter that goes out weekly. We also have ad visibility upgrades, which what these are used for is when people are scrolling through the ads, you use these to make your ad stick out so people see your ad amongst everyone else. So we allow you to bold it, put a red border around it, or do a bigger thumbnail. Media upgrades. Media upgrades come free with club memberships or business accounts. But let's say you're a basic user and you want to do a photo gallery, which I highly would suggest because it's pretty important to helping sell your item. But this is where you can select to either add a photo gallery or the ability to embed a video into your ad. Reposting are auto reposting options. There's 2 different types of reposts. We have auto reposting and we have repost, which you can do after the fact. But again, that's reposting your ad back to the front. When people post ads on our site, If I were to post my ad yesterday and you were to come post today, your ad would be listed first and mine second. And then if someone else comes in, we all get bumped down one more. As people post on the site, you get pushed down further and further. So reposting allows you to push it back up to the top or extend the duration of your ad. So let's say your ad only had a week left. You could pay for a repost, which would extend it out 4 additional weeks, but also bump you up to the top. And then the last thing we have is a runtime upgrade. Basically, again, we aren't a pay per ad model, but let's say you did want to pay to make sure your ad stays up forever. You could pay us to do a run till it sells ad. Basically, your ad will stay on RacingJunk until you tell us that it has been sold. All these upgrades are unique in their own way. They all help you in your own way. Some work better than others. If you're ever confused about any of these during the posting process, feel free to call into the website, and anyone on my team could help you out and explain any of these. Step 4 is photo and video. This is where you can add all those photos that we took yesterday. We allow you to add up to 50 photos, so you get your 1 main photo, and then you get your 49 additional photos. We do have drag and drop functionality where you can just dump in all your photos and they all upload. The one thing I like to say to people, because we get asked it all the time, is we do have a max file size of 3 megabytes per picture. So as long as it doesn't go above that, your photo will go in very easily. Most phones or anything like that, they all upload fine. Usually it's just those really nice cameras that can take really, really high definition pictures that you might run into that issue. This is also where you can put in your embed code for your video. So as long as you have your video up on YouTube or something like that, you just give us the embed code. So when someone goes to your ad, your video is embedded right in with your photo. So as people are scrolling through, they can click play on your video and it'll play right there for them. Review. So after you've done all that, you get to your 5th step, you review everything. There's 3 things I want you to remember while you're doing this. Number 1, does your information look correct? Everything you put in there. And this will kind of relate to number 3. Number 2, on this page, you can edit anything very quickly. You can go back to the step to add additional photos. You can go back to step 1 and change a category or edit your description. And then number 3, I really want you to double and triple check your description. And the reason for that is everything on our website you can change. You can change your photos, you can change your category, you can change your price, anything like that. The only thing you can't physically do is change your category or change your description. It's a security reason that we do it. So if you do need to change it, you do have to call into us and tell us what the changes are. And sometimes you might have to explain why you're doing it. But that's the one thing I want you to double and triple check. So that way, again, this is all about making your posting process go a lot smoother. So double and triple check that. So that way, when it goes up on the website, you're not calling into us. Once you've done all that, you're ready to go. Step 6 is your ad is posted. If you did buy an upgrade, you would pay for it. If not, again, it's up on the site. It's immediately there, and now you're ready to start managing your ad. And the reason why I put this is once your ad's up on the site, you have 2 directions you can go. You can either sit back, and just let the website do its work and have leads come to you, or you can constantly increase your pool of potential buyers. Obviously, the more people you have, the quicker you're going to sell your ad, and the quicker you're going to put cash in your pocket. So what I'm going to talk about is obviously that not just sitting back, we're going to actually talk about how to manage your ad and increase that pool of candidates. So there's 2 areas I want you to familiarize yourself with that we'll talk about today. One is my ads, which you can utilize to maximize your visibility on the website. And number 2 is my messages, which you use to engage with users. So the first one, my ads. So what can you do from my ads page? You can edit your ad and you can maximize your visibility. If you look in the background here, you'll notice an arrow pointing to manage ads. In order to get to manage ads, you just highlight over your name in the right-hand corner when you are logged in, and you'll be able to get to manage ads. Once you click in that, that's when you have the ability to edit your ad and do some of the stuff that we're going to talk about. So there's 2 ways to do it to maximize your ad on RacingJunk.com. The first of which is utilizing your ad slots, and the second of which is using upgrades, which we kind of already talked about. So utilizing your ad slots. So your account level will determine your ad slots. Basic members get 2, fan club members get 2, pro club members get 5, and businesses get 5+. There's some huge dealer accounts that people have. But you want to utilize them. And there's a couple different ways that I like to tell people they can utilize them. One is you can place your ad in multiple categories. The most the most common thing we see is we got a guy who has a Camaro. He uses it and drives it to work every single day. So it obviously can maybe go in the street cars category. Maybe it's old enough where you can, or maybe you can go in the muscle cars category, whatever it may be. But also on the weekends, he drag races it, or he runs it on the street track. So there's multiple categories that guy can put it in. The mistake that I see people do often is they just put their ad up once in one category and leave it. Yet, they paid for a pro account. They have 5 ad slots. That means they can put it up technically in 5 different categories. So what I usually tell that people do is put it in the muscle car, put it in the street cars, and put it in the drag racing, or the dirt or the asphalt over, or whatever it may be. Utilize those spots so that way you are maximizing your visibility all over RacingJunk.com. The other thing you can do is you can place your ad multiple times in the same category. A lot of times people think I only got one thing to sell. I got 5 ad positions, so I'm just going to put up once. I don't have any additional categories I put it in. It's a trailer, for example. Well, again, back to the way I talked about, the way our website works is as people post in, you get pushed down further and further. And what you can do is, again, you can pay to put your ad back up top, or as your ad gets pushed down, you can post another new ad. So now you're using 2 different ad positions. And then as people post in, your ads can move down, and now you're here and here. Now you can post another ad. So now you're in 3 different spots in the same category, constantly reinforcing and showing people your ad. So placing your ad in the category multiple times, or placing your ad in multiple categories, are a great way to utilize all your ad positions and really maximize your visibility in RacingJunk. The other way is utilizing those upgrades we talked about. The 3 biggest ones people use are those placement upgrades, the visibility, and the repost. The visibility are those ones like the red border and the bigger thumbnail to really let your ad, make your ad stand out. Placement is very popular. Some people use featured ad to put their ad on the home page. Some people do premier ad to put it on the first page of the category and let it sit right at the top. A lot of people like to put their ad in the newsletter. We have a somewhat newer one that we launched last year called Boosted Search. So basically, the way that works is if someone comes to the website and they do a search for that Camaro, my Camaro, if my ad were to come up in the search, I'd be put in a top section, so my ad's shown before everyone else. Those are all placement upgrades. The third one there, repost. That is one of our most popular upgrades, and it's for 2 reasons. Like I said, the longest someone can put their ad up if they don't buy a run till it sells ad is 16 weeks. If their ad's about to expire, people will pay to repost their ad, so they'll pay to get those additional 4 weeks. Some people, even though their ad might only be up for a week or 2, they'll pay for a repost just to bump it back up to the top. So there's two ways people use it: to extend their ad or bump up to the top. And it's one of our most popular upgrades because, again, once you put it back up at the top, when people come into that category, they're going to see your ad first. So the longer you can stay on the top, the more times people are going to actually see your ad. So those are the 3 different ways you can utilize upgrades to maximize your visibility. So once you've kind of maximized, you got your ads in multiple categories. In some categories, you got it a couple times. You've put it on the home page by featuring it. You've premiered it, so it's on the first page of the category. You did a boosted search. You placed a newsletter, whatever you choose to do. You've maximized your visibility on RacingJunk.com, and now it's time to start engaging users. So that's why you need to know how to get to my messages and why it's important. So again, right next to your name, you'll see messages. You see the arrow pointing there. If you highlight over that, you can quickly go to your message, or if you click on messages, you can go to your messages. And there's 3 things I want to keep in mind when you're engaging with these potential buyers. 1 is communication, 2 is being proactive, and 3 is protecting yourself. We're going to go over 3 of these. We do have time. I want to get through it quickly so that way if you guys have some questions, I can answer them in the end. But let's go over them real quickly for you guys. Communication. There's basically 2 ways people are going to communicate with you. 1 is through messaging and email, and 2 is through phone, by call and texting you. If people are messaging you, so the way our website works is when you place it on our site, there's a contact you form on all of your ads. If someone fills that out, they provide you with their name, phone number, email address, and a message to you. We will place that in your My Messages folder, and then we will send you an email with that message. And then it's up to you. You can read it, and you can decide whether or not you want to engage with that user and start an open dialogue with them. You know, and it's kind of nice because it provides you a little bit of security where if you don't want to contact a person, you don't have to. You don't have to share an email or a phone or anything with them. You can use your messages to communicate with other members on the website who have sent you messages. But if just in case a member didn't send it to you and it's just some guy who, you know, Google search, you know, Camaro, they clicked on the RacingJunk link and they send you a message, that will be sent to your email address. And again, you'll be able to engage that user by either emailing them back or calling them. And again, this day and age, the one thing you got to remember is a lot of people like to text. So that phone number you gave, as much as you might want people to always call you, there's going to be some people that text you. Which brings me to my next point about being proactive. And there's really two groups of people that I want you to be proactive with. The first of which is people who have contacted you. Those people who have sent you either emails or have called you, call them right back. If they've left you a voicemail, call them right back. If they've emailed you, send them a response. Constantly being proactive with these people is a good thing to do. And it's not just being proactive after the first one. Be proactive after you've talked to them. You know, you talked to them a couple days ago, you thought you had a good conversation, follow up on them and say, hey, do you have any additional questions or more pictures I can send to you? Is there more information I can give to you? You know, keep up with them, keep that dialogue, because in the same time, they might be trying to contact other people. And if you're constantly right there on their mind, maybe they'll come back to you. The other piece that people forget about is and it's a feature that people might not know about is we do allow people who are following your ad, we do allow you to contact them. So if someone clicks that they like your ad, there's a section that you can actually go to and see all those people, and you can send each one of them a message. Now, the only way people can like your ad is if they're a member of our website. So that means you can send them a direct message through our messaging system. And again, now what you're doing, instead of waiting for leads come to you, you can actually go and get the leads. Okay? So being proactive can be very important to making sure that after that initial call, you know, you eventually get the person to buy your item. Protecting yourself. This is the last thing I'm going to go over today because it's important in this day and age with the internet. I'm not going to lie to you. There's scams everywhere. It's part of being on the internet. I think RacingJunk.com does a really good job trying to protect their users, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't follow some simple guidelines in order to make your selling experience better. So there's 6 things I listed there. And again, if you use these 6 things, you will not, you're going to, your experience selling is going to be really good. But I do want to talk about them real quickly before we open up for any type of questions. Number 1, you want to try to get the person on the phone. If a person's texting you, that's great for the first part of the conversation. See if they'll take a call from you. If they're really hesitant about getting on the phone with you, and it could be a sign that the person, doesn't want to talk to you because they know they might be trying to scam you or something like that. It's much easier for someone to be able to sit back and think of a text to write back than on the queue talk to you. So trying to get them on the phone is a good way to build that relationship. And you really do want to build a relationship with a person before you sell them something. Build that trust. Because again, it's all about making sure that your selling experience is good. The second thing you want to do is ask them questions. Do they have answers? Why do you like my item? If they don't have answers for that type of stuff, again, that could be a red flag for you. Utilize escrow services. We in the past have partnered with escrow.com. There's a lot of good escrow service out there you can use. These are good because basically what you do is you and the buyer come to terms with what the price is, and the escrow actually holds the money. So until both parties are satisfied with the product, the money is not released. So it's a good way for you and that person to protect themselves. The fourth thing, confirm that payment has cleared. This is very, very important. There's a difference between payment clearing and payment being available to you. And this is one of the biggest scams that have been around for years and years and years. What people do is they send you too much money that you then take the money out and you send it to a shipper. And what happens is, a day later that money is available to, oh, nice, I got $1,000 now. I'm going to send $200 to this shipper who's going to come pick up the item, and everything will be good to go. Only to find out a week later that $1,000 was bad. What you want to do is you want to go to your bank and you want to ask them. Don't ask them when the money will be available to you. Ask them when will it be cleared. When will they make sure that it's a good check? Whatever they tell you is what you want to use as your baseline. And you be upfront with the person buying and say, hey, my bank told me it's going to be 1 week until this money's cleared. So after 1 week, I will send it to you. As long as you're upfront with the person and that person agrees to that, again, your selling experience is going to be really good. Number 5, don't give out your personal information. There's absolutely no reason that you need to give out your social security number or bank account information or anything like that to make a sale. If you are selling something and the person's coming to pick it up, don't give out your personal address. Meet at a parking lot, meet somewhere that they don't know where you live. Again, this is just a way to protect yourself. If something were to happen where they aren't happy with you and you guys kind of get in a verbal argument over something, the last thing you want is them knowing where you live or knowing any personal information about you. So again, the only personal information they should potentially get is your email address and phone, and that's only if you decided to engage with them. Lastly, I say this to every single person who calls in who's selling something, who says, hey, I got this person, should I sell it to them? Well, if you are uncomfortable, don't make the deal. It's your item. You have the item. You are in control. If you are not comfortable, just don't sell it to the person. There's always someone else who's willing to buy it from you. So if in talking with the person and engaging with them and asking questions, if you are uncomfortable, just don't make the deal. And if you do, all these 6 things, you're going to protect yourself and you're going to have a great selling experience on any website, but specifically RacingJunk.com. So just real quickly reviewing what we went over, because I know it was a lot of information, a little amount of time. We talked about creating your account, where you chose your membership level and your contact information. We talked about the posting process, those 6 easy steps to go through. And then lastly, we talked about managing your ad with My Ad, so you can maximize your visibility in your My Messages so you can stay engaged. So once you've done all this stuff, you're there, you're ready. You're now utilizing the internet to make money. Your pool of candidates are coming in, and then now you just got to choose who to sell it to, and you've made cash out of your garage. So with that being said, I'm going to open up to questions. I'm going to go back. We have our content editor, Adriana, here that I'm going to bring in here and unmute just in case you guys have any questions. I think I'm unmuting her. Yeah. Adriana, you there?
Hold on. Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. For some reason, my mouse isn't working.
That's
Sorry,
okay.
guys.
We have about 6 minutes and 45 seconds for questions.
All right, we had a really good question from one of our participants, Chuck, who asked if there's an item that has been up for 16 weeks and is taken down, right? So just the regular amount of time. Mm-hmm. Is it possible to just put it back up if he has got more slots or an ongoing pro membership, or does he have to upgrade to extend it? So I'm sure you see this a lot.
No, again, that's that repost option. Reposting can apply to basic users or club members. Again, the nice part about club membership is we give you those value points to use to offset the cost on something like that. So again, you might pay us $49.95, but we give you $65 and your ad expires after those 16 weeks. Instead of paying $20 to put it back up, you could just use that money to offset the cost.
Great. Thank you. So far, that's the only question we have, but I think if there's anything, somebody else wants your lawnmower.
I'll put it up for sale after this.
Wants your lawnmower, wants your snowblower.
Yeah, you know what we should have done is I should have taken pictures and we could have walked through the posting process and posted the lawnmower.
Actually, that's a great idea. And actually, that's a really good question. If there are other topics that people would like to see in the future, please let us know. I'm sure you're getting tons of emails from us about the webinars. And while that may seem a little excessive right now, if you do still have questions, please feel free to reach out to Ian and his team. And if there are additional webinars or meetings that you guys think would be really helpful for this, let us know, because it's pretty easy for us to put it together right now, even with everybody separated and working from home. And Ian and his team are the experts on this. They can really help folks sell their stuff. So I think it's a really good opportunity to ask for more information on what we need. And I think if anybody has questions, they're usually questions that more than one person has, and it's worth putting together some additional information. So
yeah, and if there's people here that didn't catch yesterday's, I mean, part of the reason why we decided to do this is I've been here with the company since 2007, so I've had the privilege to go to a lot of car races or car shows or events or trade shows, and obviously talking to people on the phone. So there's a lot of information that people have told me that I really wanted to share. You know, a lot of times at these shows, I share one-on-one with people. So we really thought it was a good idea to do these type of series so I can share with a mass audience. So, you know, there's more information. So if there's stuff that people are wondering about, you know, these things like Andrea just said are pretty easy to set up. You know, we could do different things as long as you know, people want to hear them, and I'm definitely up to do it. So
yeah, one more good question that I missed when I was looking through this. So, the logistics of shipping heavy objects, how to handle, do you have any advice for people to handle that in making a deal? Now, obviously we don't really deal with, transactions themselves, but having worked in it often enough, anything that you can recommend to users for working that in?
yeah, so
From either direction, from selling,
yeah,
buying.
so it's this is something you really want to be upfront with before you guys make the deal and you settle on a price. You're gonna, you know, there are some shipping companies out there. There's some that you know, there's resources on every one of our ads that you can look at. Sometimes we're partnered with some shipping places that will give you quotes on what it might cost to ship something. So you can definitely check out different websites to see how much it will cost to something. But the main thing I want people to know about this is know before, you know, once you guys are talking, you realize where the guy's from. Before you guys actually agree on a price, talk about the shipping and talk about whether or not they're going to pay for it or whether you want to include it in the price. You know, maybe it's something where you guys split the cost. Maybe, you know, if you know that you've given a little bit, you know, they'll pay for the shipping. The last thing you want to do is kind of have a verbal handshake, and next thing you know, you're getting ready to send it, and you both are kind of saying, well, who's going to pay for this now? Again, a lot of this is about making sure that your selling experience is good. So as long as you're upfront beforehand to talk about that, I think it's and allow the other person to also, what I say to people who are buying stuff is do their own shopping around for shipping also. So that way they know how much it costs. Because again, from a buying standpoint, you also don't want to get ripped off in shipping too. So making sure you're upfront, I think, is the biggest thing with that.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Unless anybody has any other questions, anything else you want to cover, Ian?
I don't think so. I mean, the only thing I would say, and I probably didn't hit on it for too long, is that right now is a really, really good time to put stuff up. Obviously, I'm partial to RacingJunk. Hopefully, everyone in this chat has something in their garage they can throw up in RacingJunk. But with so many people home right now, there's a lot of people on the internet. There's a lot of people with money looking to spend. So whether you throw something up on RacingJunk or you put some, you know, your lawnmower up for sale, I would highly suggest utilizing this time that you have home right now to build your ad and put it up and put some cash in your pocket right now.
Great.
Okay. All right. Well, if that's it, this thing's yelling at me. It says I got under a minute left. So yesterday we got cut off. What I'll end with is, you know, we are open. We're open 8:30 to 5 Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. You can contact my team either via email or phone. Just like you guys, we are spending a lot of time, or we're all working from home, but we've been able to transition pretty well. So if you guys have questions after this, you can either call and ask for me if I don't answer the phone, or any of my my team members can answer your questions. You know, they're you know, they know the website in and out just as much as I do, and they'll be able to help you. So we look forward to talking to some of you guys and hopefully seeing your stuff up online. And we did tape this, so you guys will get a follow-up email with this that will have a link to view this in case you want to rewatch it. So that's about it. So thanks for joining, guys, and hopefully we see you in some future series. We are going to have some sales and biz dev ones coming up soon, so be sure to check that out. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Adriana.
Bye, guys.